Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today finally with a finish. So, as many of you know, I have been working on my patriotic camper, and it has taken me much longer than I wanted to, but I finally finished it. I was using my Forever Young trays for this kit, and I was pleasantly surprised that this worked much better with squares than it did with rounds, which may have something to do with the tips that I prefer to use. So I don't think this is one that I will use a lot because it works much better for me with squares. And unfortunately, most of my squares are pretty large, which means I'm going to have more than 60 colors, which means I need more than 60 trays. But it is a nice system. It has its pluses and minuses. You guys have seen me talk about it before. But this is the system that I used for this particular kit. I did run out of drills in one particular color. So for whatever reason, number 498, the F symbol, which was one of the reds, I ran out of. Luckily, I do have some leftovers in my spare drill storage. I was short maybe 10 drills is all, so I didn't need a ton of extra ones, but thank goodness I had these. Yes, I could have sent off to Diamond Art Club and they could have sent me some replacement drills, but that would have taken weeks, and I didn't want to wait weeks to finish something that I needed 5 drills for. That's why I saved my spares. Other than that, I had plenty of drills to finish everything. I don't think I got super low on any of them other than that one color. In fact, most of this first row up here, I didn't use a ton anyway. There weren't that many drills to begin with, so I had 4 ABs in this kit. There was a red, there was a blue, there was a yellow. That actually, the yellow, I have some left, but I used hardly at all. It was just the center of the daisy flowers. And then, of course, number 4 was the white, which was everywhere. This is an older kit, so I did have quite a bit of trash for this kit. As expected, a lot of the black was kind of trashy, and then I had some things where there were tabs, or this one has a hole in it, several that had holes in them. So not a ton of trash, but more than I would have liked for a kit this size. This was maybe 40 by 50-ish, a little bit bigger, maybe 50 by 60, something in there. Again, just a lot of black. So that was the trash, and I've showed you the drill, so let me grab the canvas and we'll look at it. So here is the completed canvas, and I can't fit it all on the screen. It's 60 by 50 something. I can't fit it all on the screen, so of course I have taken B-roll so that you guys can see what it looks like. For an older kit, this one was actually, the grid was tight enough that it was almost too tight. There were so many of the white ABs in this kit that there were times where it felt like I had popping drills. So you can see here in the red and white stripes, there are white ABs in a lot of the white stripes. There's some gray in here as well, but it's mostly the white ABs. And then in the red stripes, you can see there's a lot of the red ABs in it as well. So that's where the red ABs were. The blue ABs, of course, got used up here in the top of the camper. Of course, the white ABs and all the stars, and then you've got some in the flags as well. And then the yellow ABs were in the little basket of daisies down here at the bottom. I really like this kit. Surprisingly, my favorite part of the whole thing is this little wagon full of watermelon. I don't know why I like them so much, but just the way that they're piled in here and the little green stripes with the big leaves behind them, I just think it's super cute. I do like the daisies and the flowers in this basket as well, but these watermelon, the whole watermelon, are my favorite part. And then you do get, of course, the little boots here, the watermelon slices, and then the chair with the little quilted pillow here. One of the things I don't like is this lemonade glass. It's meant to be sitting on the arm of this chair, but the way that they've charted the colors and everything, it looks like it's kind of just floating in midair to me, so it seems a little bit weird. Other than that, I think it looks really cute. This kit actually had a lot more confetti than I expected because you got 3 or 4 colors in each of the stripes, whether they're white or red, and then 3 or 4 colors of blue up here in the camper. While it wasn't as difficult as my little baker trying to fit all of the ABs together, it certainly gave it a run for its money. I think I would have been happier if the white and red stripes had just been white and red and just regular colors rather than ABs. And then ABs in the USA here and the outline of the camper and all of that, I think would have been fine. It turned out okay and I like the way it looks, but I just think it would have been maybe a little less frustrating instead of trying to force the ABs in there. And there were places where I definitely was trying to get all of them seated correctly so that I could move on, especially around the window here. Like I'm still feeling as I run my fingers over, I'm still feeling drills that are kind of popping up, even though I've gone over it several times with my pin, my rolling pin, but it was good. Like I said, it was a lot more confetti heavy than I expected, but it was enjoyable. I think I was a little bit more stressed with this one trying to finish it than I would have been otherwise, just because I started it too late and I knew that it was going to take me longer than I wanted to finish it up, because we're going to be at, well, by the time you see this, we're going to be at the 20th of December, which only leaves me 11 days to finish my Christmas kit that I'm going to be working on, but that's okay. I'm going to hopefully spend the next 3 or 4 days and some of the time that we're off for the holiday vacation just diamond painting like a fiend to see how far I can get. Fairly certain I'm not going to get close to finishing it, but if I can at least get halfway, that'll carry me into January. I'll finish up my snowman for our winter theme and we'll go from there. So like I said, I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would actually, even though I was kind of frustrated at how long it was taking. So now this one is done. It's another kit out of my stash. I can mark it off. This wasn't one of my oldest ones, but it is one of my older ones. So I'm glad to finally have it done and have it finished. I will be talking about tomorrow when I do my whip and chat. I will be talking about the upcoming themes for next year. I put out polls for everyone, so if you haven't voted yet, go find the post tab on the channel and look at the 3 different posts for our different themes. Of course, we're going to have January will be winter, but then I have polls out for March, May, August, and October. So make sure you get your likes in so that I can see. I'm going to leave them open for a little bit longer. I think the first couple of themes have probably been decided, but the other 2 have only been up for about a week, so I may give them another week, week and a half before I close everything and say, this is what won, this is what we're going to do. So if you're interested in having a voice in that, make sure you go vote. So I'm curious what you guys think. Does it look to anyone else like this lemonade glass is just kind of floating? Like I said, I know it's meant to look as if it's on the arm of this chair, but I just, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the outline of the door here because it continues on sort of down, that it's interrupted by the arm, that it looks weird to me, but it just looks weird to me. So leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Is it floating? Is it sitting on the arm of the chair? All right. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.